Hi, welcome to this week's History with Holly. Today I want to talk about the novel Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. This is the second Virginia Woolf novel that I've read, but the first that she published, I believe. And I just wanted to say something about the way it threads together life and death and the process of aging. It's a fascinating picture of different people's attitudes to the way they age and mature. It begins with a group of friends who are young together, a group of young people with some older ones, but mostly young people. Sally and Mrs. Dalloway, before she was Mrs. Dalloway, and Hugh and Peter and all these young people who are flouncing around brought by Borton in their youth, and then moves to what happens as they get older, and then it threads. It's a bit cleverer than The Lighthouse, I think. It threads threads through plot lines together. And another one is of a young man called Septimus and his wife, who's Italian, and he fought in the war and in the First World War and met her over there and brought her back to London. And he's gone mad from shell shock. And in the end, anyway, I won't tell you the ending because it'll ruin it, but it's really fascinating the way she has that perspective of writing from inside people's heads, and she's not afraid to repeat herself, as people do in their heads. I guess when we read, we tend to want to think that people in books think clearly all the time, form perfectly organised thoughts, but we don't. And I love the way Virginia Woolf's style reflects the reality of the way people think, especially people who are struggling. And this young man, Septimus, with shell shock, he is going well into madness and contemplating suicide, and his wife's absolutely, she doesn't know what to do, as you don't. And it flips from his perspective to her perspective, and just the way Virginia Woolf is not afraid to repeat ideas over and over again, or to go back in circles, around in circles, sorry. I think that is a beautiful reflection of the tangled and messy ways our brains really do work. And I love that she's not afraid to write like that. It's not everybody's cup of tea, this stream of consciousness style of writing. Sometimes I find it tedious myself, but I did enjoy this because I guess it sort of made me really think that that's actually how people think. And she's very brave to have put that into writing, I guess, because when we're looking to read, we're often looking for escapism, especially fiction. We're looking for escapism, but she doesn't write escapism. She writes about people who get older or get hurt or go mad or marry or don't marry or get shoved off or get divorced or fall in love with someone else's wife, and nothing's perfect. And in the centre of it is Mrs. Dalloway, trying to be perfect. Clarissa Dalloway, always the one with charm, who nobody actually really likes. Well, they all like her, but they don't know how to talk to her because she's too perfect. And that Peter resents for not marrying him. And anyway, and it's just interesting, like the character of Sally right at the end talks about how even though she's in her 50s now and has 5 sons at Eton, she is married a rich man. She's made a go of her life, and she feels like she's 52 in her body, but in her mind she's a girl of 20. And I wonder how many people feel that way, but society doesn't give them the space to express it, or people of 20 who feel like they're 50, and there's no room for that. I don't know. Anyway, I would be interested to hear your thoughts and any other thoughts about Virginia Woolf or stream of consciousness writing in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.